Hi guys, good morning and happy Saturday to you. I hope that this finds you doing great. This is Kim with Chic, your independent designer for Chalk Couture. We are going to get a live pulled up here and shared a couple of spaces, but I hope y'all are doing great. We are going to do a pretty big design this morning, but I have time on Saturday, so it's a lot easier for me to do a big one on Saturday morning. But we're going to do a chalk pull method. We've done this before, but it makes life really, really simple whenever you are doing a big design with a few colors. Hey, Pam. So that is what we're going to do today. It's called Home Sweet Farmhouse. It's super cute. But as you can see, we have a design on our board. So I am going to spritz some water on this. This is just regular, plain old distilled water. No chemicals in there, just water. And we're going to let that set for just a second, and I am going to show you how quick and simple this is to get cleaned off. We have a brand new tool called our board scraper. Before, you were seeing me having to work like the dickens to get any design off a board, because chalk paste, unless you really scrub, it's not going to come off. It's semi-permanent until you start really working to get it off. So we are going to get this cleaned off, lickety-split like. Water is sitting there for just a second, and y'all are going to be blown away, because this is one of my favorite things now is the board scraper. So you can use our board scraper on our boutique surface or our gallery boards, but guys, look, seriously, it's crazy easy. And I know this design has been on there since the beginning of January, because I did this one right before I went to Arizona. And all I have to do is scrape all my paste. There it is in the center. Now I'm just going to take a water baby wipe. I don't use baby wipes with chemicals, but I use the water kind. And I'm just going to take it and kind of get all this gunk off, because we still have to clean our board just a little bit, but look at how quick and simple that truly is. Used to, I would scrape for ever and a day, and I don't have to do that anymore. So all I have to do is wipe this clean. Now, our boutique surfaces are reusable. Sometimes if you've left chalk paste on there for quite a while, I'm going to hold it up and see if you can see those horns. I can see them. I don't think y'all can, but there's still a little bit of what we call ghosting. I can see the outline of the horns right there, and then I can see some of the lettering. So we take our board eraser, which is like a magic eraser, but a little bit different, and we just spritz water on it again. Hey, Natalie, my little daughter from another mother. Good morning, my friend. I'm just taking my board eraser and scraping this, or not scraping this, but rubbing it, and it will come clean, and all of our ghosting elements will be gone. Hey, Melinda. So we're going to take this, I'm going to take the minky side of our fuzzing towel, wipe this clean and dry. While that's finishing doing its thing, I am going to stir up some chalk paste that we're going to use. So we're going to use Marvelous, Eucalyptus, and Bright White. Those are the three colors that we're going to use. I'm going to make sure that these are good and ready. And then we are going to get started. This week, I need to make a point to go through my chalk paste and make sure that it is, I haven't been through my chalk paste in a minute. So you want to make sure your chalk paste falls off of your stir stick. This edging around there is because Kim has been quite lazy, it looks like. But all you have to do, I don't put this part back in my jar. I just remove it. Like I remove a big chunk like that. But it's from scraping on the edge and not taking time to fix it before I put it away. But just like that, you can make your jar of paste look better. But you want to make sure you get underneath the rim and get all that stuff stirred and keep your jars of paste good. We talk a lot about our transfer and making sure we take care of our transfer. We need to take care of our chalk paste too. And a lot of that goes back to just making sure we clean around the edge, around the lip, and all of that. I won't say I've gotten lazy, but we'll just leave it at that. I've gotten lazy maybe a little bit. But we're going to get this one stirred up too. This is eucalyptus. This one looks pretty good consistency. It might need a smidge of water. Not terrible though. The consistency on this one is pretty good. So we have a lot of different elements we're going to work with on this design. We're going to do chalk pull several times on this one because I want to emphasize some different things, different elements on here, and to show you how quick and easy it is to work with a design that has multiple elements. It's not difficult. It's as difficult as you make it be. But my friends, even if you're just starting out with Chalk Couture as a customer or as a designer, you can do things in multiple colors, even if there's designs that are close together. And we're going to walk through all of that with this design. But like I said, Saturday mornings are easy for me to go live and not have to hurry it up. So we're going to do this one, which I've been dying to do. I have not done it, but it is Home Sweet Home Farmhouse, or Home Sweet Farmhouse. I will tell you, this is a size C transfer, so they are retail $24.99. But size C, it took me forever when I first started with Chalk Couture to feel comfortable to do these. Just because they freaked me out. They were way bigger, and y'all, I have like 10-year-old hands, so I always got freaked out doing these. It just scared me. But I'm going to show you how quick and simple it is. I'm going to show you also how we work with this size transfer to keep it where you're in control over it all the time. Because what scared me was I was scared I was going to have a transfer fold on itself. If you're working with a transfer, no matter the size, and that happens, the key is not to panic and to go get it under running water, submerge it under water, and then you can gently pull it apart. You don't want to use hot water. You want to use like cold to lukewarm. But how I work with these size C transfers is I start just like this. I'll pull this size C transfer over to the side, about halfway over. I'm going to grab the backer sheet, and I'm going to keep pulling where it makes my transfer sticky side up facing me. So the sticky side is facing me. It's backwards right now. I'm going to take my fuzzing towel, which is the exact size of this transfer. I'm going to lay it on it. Okay. Still have control over my transfer, right? No stickiness is going to stick together. I'm going to flip it over, and now I still have control over my transfer. Instead of taking it and fuzzing it and pulling it up all at the same time, I go halvesies, and I just pull it up. I put it back down. Pull it up, and put it back down. I do this several times, especially if it's a new transfer. This one is brand spanking new. Never used it before. But I always have control over my transfer. If it's going to stick together, even if I'm doing this method, it's going to be very little that actually sticks together or comes together. So I always have control over it. And I'm going to do this a couple more times just because it is a brand new transfer. And we're going to be doing a lot of chalk pulling with this because there's a lot of different little elements. All right. So now I'm going to take my transfer and I'm going to pull it off the backer sheet. I'm going to be careful with it because it is sticky. But I'm going to take it and line it up. So the only real time that my transfer was off of the thing, off of the fuzzing towel and not on a surface was just a wee bit of time. I'm going to line that up just a little bit better. I like to be all on the board. Okay, so now we're going to go over it. My plan for this is to do Home and Sweet in Marvelous. I'm going to do Farmhouse in white. All these little bitty twigs I'm going to do in eucalyptus, which is not many. And then these little bitty accent pieces I'm going to be doing in white as well. So there's lots of elements with this. I think I'm going to take for the banner eucalyptus since there's not a lot of eucalyptus up there. and there's more white accents. I don't want to overly white it because we have our white frame. So let's start with our eucalyptus piece up here. Now I'm going to be using some placement tape just because this is kind of close. It's not very far away. So I'm going to be using placement tape a little bit to help us out so we don't have to keep messing with things. And just get these little bitty pieces covered up that I know I'm not going to want to chalk accidentally where I'm chalking eucalyptus. So we can leave that one because that one doesn't matter if it gets chalked. But that right there matters a little bit. So I'm going to work on this banner first. And I actually will make that one a little bit smaller because we can chalk that little bitty piece of eucalyptus as well. So anytime you're working and you're doing multiple colors, placement tape is truly your friend. We're going to try our best just to work around these and just do a little bit of chalking. But placement tape is a game changer when it comes to working with elements that you're really super close to, because I do want all the accents to be there, but I also don't want to stress out chalking. And placement tape just makes life a little bit simpler when it comes to chalking. I love using it, especially when you're working with multiple colors. It keeps everything under control. Okay, so we're pretty well done. I'm going to chalk the farmhouse, or excuse me, the eucalyptus on our little banner, if you will. And we may have to stop a little bit halfway through because we don't want to over chalk. So we may get done with home, pull it back, and then go ahead and do the other part. We'll see how long it takes. Hey, Kim Ann. So we're going to just squeegee on and squeegee off. Remember, we're working in just small little bitty sections right now because we want the details of this to really, really stick out. And sometimes if you're chalking and you're doing a whole lot of details, you just have to kind of take it and do a little bitty section at a time. It's okay to do that and to come back. And especially when you have a really thin line like we're working with, the line is super thin. But look at that incredible design. So we're going to just dry that really quick. But all these elements being so close together, that's why we're taking our time using placement tape and getting these little bits and pieces done. So anytime you're using the dryer, you want to make sure that you're returning to a surface that is not hot. So I'm going to let that just kind of fall back down. I'm not going to overly focus on pushing down anything right there. I am going to worry about right here because we're not done chalking here though. And we'll get the rest of our banner chalked. So anytime you're working on designs like this, especially if you have thin lines, you're going to want to pull up and get stuff dried because the thinner lines you have, the more apt it is going to dry quicker. So you want to make sure you work fast, get it pulled up, and get it dry between chalks. So let me go ahead and pull this up because I did quite a big section right there. So let's see how far we need to go. Lots of chalk pulling for this design though, an extreme amount. But when we get done with the whole project, y'all, it's going to be so worth it. Okay, so we're going to fill our board. And let me dry just a little bit right there because that's quite a bit. All right, so we're gonna let it fall back down again. You'll notice I'm not really pushing back down. Let me lift that up one more time because that didn't exactly fall back down like I wanted it to. So we're gonna just get to the point where we're done right here. That's the last of the little bit we have to chalk. And get this little bitty pieces done. So I think I just went over on the H a little bit. If you do go over, y'all, it is quite simple to fix, and we'll go ahead and pull this all the way up so we can fix that, because we do want our H to be white. So I am just squeegeeing on, squeegeeing off this last little bitty piece, and then we have a little tiny piece right here. All right, so let me go ahead and pull this up. I'm going to pull it completely back so we can take a look at it really quick. So you can tell right there I went over on some letters, and that's okay. We're going to get it fixed. No biggie. So in order to fix that, especially for right here, I'm just going to scrape it with the popsicle stick. I'm not going to worry about having a wet surface near it. I need to just dry that one really quick. Okay, so we're pretty much done with eucalyptus. I'm going to move this up for just a second so we can take a look at our transfer. So right there is where I went over just a smidgen with the eucalyptus paste, which is fine, but we are going to want to make sure that we have it where it's cleaned off and we don't have to stress about it for our white chalk paste. So I am going to flip it over, make sure we're good. Looks like we are. I'm going to go ahead and start removing some of this placement tape. Now, at this point in time, if you were very, very new to Chalk Couture, you can keep working with this design. A lot of people don't enjoy working with the design when it has wet chalk paste on it. It's going to dry pretty quickly, and I don't ever worry about working with it with wet chalk paste on it. But what you're going to find is we're going to come back to the part, the element up top, that is going to have be near this. So I'm not going to worry about cleaning it off. All I'm doing right now is getting our placement tape removed because we don't want that to stay on, and making sure we don't have any accidental overages with our eucalyptus so we can get our design done up at the very top. So I'm just wiping away some areas that had some eucalyptus over, but as you can see, I don't know if it's easy to see, over here where we first started, it's completely dry to the touch. So down here where we still have chalk paste drying, it's not going to take long to do. It's just a matter of letting it have a little bit of time to dry. But I'm just getting all of our placement tape pulled. So almost done. Okay, so we have all of our placement tape pulled up and removed. I'm going to take my little fuzzing towel and put that back down for just a second. And let me just wipe this one more time, so because this is going to be white here at the bottom. And I do want to make sure that we don't have any eucalyptus in there, and I don't see that we do. I'm just looking for anything really super close that I need to worry about. So we're almost to the point. So what we do now is if you have a little bitty piece or something to clean up, you can use your fuzzing towel and just make sure that those little areas are good and dry if you wipe them clean. You cannot chalk on something that's wet. It just will not work. So I am going to swap fuzzing towels really quick. Put that one down. And we are going to be good to go. So I'm going to take my design back and we're going to lay it back down. I'm not going to worry about pushing down where the banners are or where our eucalyptus was. I'm just going to lay it back down and let it fall where it may. So now I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to mess with these letters. These letters are going to be our marvelous. I'm just pushing down where these letters are going to be. I'm not worried about anything else but just those letters. And in fact, I'm sitting here looking. I think we'll chalk those first really quick and give it a chalk pull. So again, I didn't push down around the letters. I just pushed down where the letters were. So we are just giving this a quick chalk. Being careful to not over chalk. It's easy to get excited and chalk, but I didn't put down any more placement tape. I'm just being extra careful. So that one looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and give that a pull. Those are two gorgeous colors together. Love, love, love those two colors together. Super, super cute. So you just want to make sure you're not messing with a hot plate or a hot transfer, hot chalkboard. So we have home, and we're going to go ahead and chalk that. Easy peasy. And in fact, if you were to accidentally go over your lettering and get on the surface part that we've already done, it would be an easy fix. You could clean your transfer area that got messed up and just go back and re-chalk over it. So you can chalk in layers without any problems. You have to go back and clean off that part of the transfer. So there is home and sweet. It would be super cute to do this in one color, but in my opinion, it would also be a little bit boring. So I like the fact that we can just dazz it up a little bit and add a whole bunch of dimension to this by using multiple colors and just taking our time and chalking. So I'm going to let that fall where it may. You can see that my transfer down here, it's all over the place, guys. But all I'm going to be worried about is right up here, this element right here. I'm going to push it down. This element right here, I'm going to push it down. Now, this one is a little bit close for my liking, so I am going to take a piece of placement tape and just barely put it on there. But it keeps me pretty well off of anything that I'm going to be super close to. And same thing right here. I'm just going to put just a little piece of placement tape right there. Now I'm going to take our multi-tool. Let me get this covered up really quick. I'm going to take our multi-tool and do these. Now white tends to dry quite a bit quickly whenever you're chalking. So white, if I'm going to chalk a multiple color design like this, I usually do last. Only because it tends to dry very fast for whatever reason. And I don't ever want it to dry out while I'm chalking other things. So again, if I'm doing white, you're going to see me chalking that very, very last. That's the last color we're doing on our design. And that's intentional on purpose because white tends to be the one that dries out the fastest. And if we're constantly putting our transfer on and off, on and off, on and off, every single time you do that, your white's going to have a chance to pull up. So I'm going to just drop it. I'm going to let it fall. I don't need to worry about it being close or anything like that. We're just going to take our multi-tool, do this one up here. And this may seem tedious, but guys, this is going to be so worth it when it's all finished. Because having multiple colors on a design like this is just gorgeous. It's that small attention to detail that just is absolutely beautiful. So we have that one done. I'm going to go ahead and give that a quick dry. Alright, so now we're down to the very, very last part. So I'm going to lift it all the way up. I'm going to line it back up with this little eucalyptus leaf. Let me flip and do it this way. I'm going to line it back up with this little eucalyptus leaf so we can be pretty on point. The only part that I'm worried about pressing down is going to be where we're chalking. Okay, and I may actually, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I may do Farmhouse and I'm going to still do white. I thought I may do Farmhouse and eucalyptus, and I was like, I'm going to still do white. I think eucalyptus will look weird around the eucalyptus leaves that we have chalked already, so I'm just taking a little bit of placement tape. I'm doing myself a favor, and I'm covering up the things that are super close to elements that are going to be chalked. Because guys, at the end of the day, if it just makes life a little bit easier and chalking less stressful, just use placement tape. If you're out of placement tape or you don't have any on hand, you can always use washi tape that you find in the scrapbook section. It's pretty much the same. It just doesn't have chalk couture on it or the elements like the measuring part. Hey, Rhonda. So we are just getting this placement tape down. So now all I have to do is worry none about going over and just chalk away. So that just makes life a lot simpler. So I'm going over this lettering one more time because we've gone up and down and up and down and up and down. We want to make sure it is pushed down and it is golden. So I am going to take a squeegee. I'm going to do a small squeegee. And we are just going to chalk away, chalk our little hearts out. So this is one reason why I did white very last. Again, it can dry really quick. You do also want to make sure you're done with all your coloring, so you're not worried about getting your colors on white and all of that stuff. There's just so many elements to it, but that constant pull up and push down of your transfer, white is just notorious for pulling, no matter if you're doing layering or not, and that is the reason why I'm doing white last. So we are just giving this a squeegee on, squeegee off. I'm just going a little bit extra careful around a couple of these parts. But a lot of people get freaked out about doing chalk pull because your chalk paste dries on your transfer. Guys, our paste is water soluble. So the cool thing is if it were to dry on your transfer, which it probably could, it did up at the top, you don't have to stress out about it because all we have to do is take this and run it under lukewarm running water, and it's going to come right off. So I'm going to hang this on my craft table really quick. We are going to give this a quick dry because y'all know me and my sticky fingers. We don't want to put our hands in chalk paste. So I am in love with this. I love the colors. They're soft and subtle together, but that farmhouse really pops at the bottom, and I think that it is adorable. Now, we could have stuck with all of our colors and not done white and just done our white little accents. But guys, I'm super happy with the way this turned out. And y'all know me, I'm not a farmhouse girl. But it is super cute. It's a very cute transfer. Another cute little thing, and this is just me thinking out loud, y'all. The February Club Couture transfer goes away today. It is the very, very last day to get it. But this would be so cute to do Home Sweet Home spelled out across the bottom. Even with our little bitty houses, because you can use different elements of the transfer. I don't have to use anything altogether. In fact, if I wanted to take the word farmhouse and just make a sign that says farmhouse on it, I totally can. You don't have to use the whole entire transfer in its entirety. You can use bits and pieces that work for you. But this Home Sweet, and we could do home down here at the bottom. I wish I would have thought about that before today. Today is the very, very last day, my friends, to pick up the February Club Couture transfer. If you have been eyeballing it, it is still not sold out. I'm very shocked that this has not been sold out yet. But today is the very, very last day to pick up that February Club Couture transfer and get signed up for the Club Couture for March. This is Leap Day. I wish I had a frog transfer to do with you, but I don't. Enjoy your extra day of the year. Make it count, guys. You got to make it count. But let's just talk really quick about our transfer. I'm going to show you. I will pull off the placement tape, but all this right here is dry. I promise you, I'll post a before and after picture of it, of me having it clean so y'all can see. This is going to go away with lukewarm water. Under lukewarm water, that paste reactivates to a liquid form, and it is going to go away and be clean. I'll post a before and after picture though so y'all can see it. It is easy, easy cleanup. But we used Home Sweet Farmhouse. It is a size C transfer. We used 3 Chalkology paste colors, and you know, it would have been cute doing it all in like a white or all in a gray, but I love these colors and the color combination and just the accents that it creates. But we used eucalyptus. We paired it with bright white, of course, and then Marvelous. And those 3 color combinations together are just stellar, especially for farmhouse decor. But I hope y'all have an amazing start to your weekend. Enjoy it. The weather looks grand in Mississippi. I don't know how it is where you are, but the good thing is I get to sleep through this weather today. But I will be going and heading and taking a work nap after not too much longer. But I hope y'all enjoyed this little design. A lot of chalk pulling. But guys, even this big design is easy to tackle, whether you're getting started as an independent designer, looking at doing chalk couture, or you're getting started as a customer. Don't be scared of these transfers because they don't have to win. It took me forever to do this size, and I'm so thankful that I started, and no big transfer scares me anymore. So I hope y'all have an amazing start to your weekend. I'll look forward to talking with you a quick project tomorrow, and I hope y'all have a great day. Keep chalking, guys.